And hey, making ice cream at home used to be a long process involving, hand cranking and churning it. But now, thanks to science, it comes down to two simple ingredients as well as just one jar. For details, we turn to Emory University chemistry professor Doug Mulford. Good morning and thanks for joining us, Professor.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about this. Making ice cream at home, something a lot of us want to do now with the pandemic going on. So you just need two ingredients. How does this work?
You do. You actually just need heavy whipping cream. And I've got a couple assistants that are going to help me today. So they're going to go ahead and start. So go ahead and pour this in. So in a chilled jar, you just put in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Now, it does need to be the heavy whipping cream, so 36% fat. And then the only other ingredient, that's good. Now let's put in the next ingredient, is condensed milk. So this is sweetened condensed milk. It's 4 tablespoons of the condensed milk. And you just want to get most of it in there. We pre-measured everything here. And we're putting this into ball jars that have been pre-chilled. So that's good enough, boys. Let's go ahead and put the lids on there. And so now comes the good part, especially as a parent, if you've got some kids that are a little bit restless at home, because now we need to shake it. And what we're going to do is we're going to create something called an emulsion. Now, that's a mixture of things that wouldn't normally mix together, like oil and water. Here we're talking about the milk fats and the sugar mixing with the water that's also in the milk. And some examples of this that you might have seen before would be salad dressing. And that one will separate over time. These, however, will be a little bit more like mayonnaise, which is another emulsion that you're used to that is stable and will sit on the shelf for a long time. So we're going to shake this really vigorously for 5 minutes. I recommend putting on some loud music, getting the kids to dance around if you want to do that. Don't bump your face. And get them shaking, shaking, shaking. You will hear it get thicker. Now, for those who cook, you actually get to a point called soft peaks, just like you're working with cream. And then you have an ice cream base. And with this base, you can flavor it however you want to. You can put in about a teaspoon of vanilla to make some nice vanilla ice cream. About a 1/3 cup of melted chocolate that's been cooled down to get some chocolate ice cream, or even put in some strawberry puree if you like the fruit ice creams. Then throw it in the freezer for a few hours, and you're going to get this nice dish of ice cream, which we're going to have for our breakfast this morning because it's already hot here in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was good to have ice cream for breakfast. Well, let's talk about the shaking. So exactly how long do you have to actually shake it, or is it kind of a feel thing, kind of wait to hear it getting thicker and then you stop shaking?
It is. You will hear it get thicker. It takes about 5 minutes, depending on how vigorous. I did it this morning at about 4 because I was really excited about it. It took the boys about 7 minutes of shaking to get it good and thick. And you really will hear that it doesn't shake around nearly as much. It's a much thicker mixture at that point.
So you probably need some adult supervision to make sure the lids are on those jars correctly. And it's good to have the kids because, kids can do that for 5 minutes, just kind of shaking that jar. So let's talk about other ingredients you can put in there. I guess you can put chocolate chips or other things to kind of flavor this, right?
Really anything you want to. You can flavor it however you want. It's just a base. I will say that when you freeze it, do make sure, keep shaking, boys, that you put it into a plastic container. You never want to freeze a frozen glass container because it might break. So make sure you move it into some Tupperware. But if you like fruit, you like chocolate, vanilla, any ice cream you want, you can have it. And it takes about 3 or 4 hours in the freezer, and then it's nice and hard and ready.
Okay, so how long will it last once you make it?
It should last just as long as regular ice cream, especially if your container is closed. So you can hold this, well, I guess you can in theory hold it for about a week, but it's not going to last that long around here.
Not in this heat. No, not at all. Great information. Love the T-shirt. That's the Emory University chemistry professor Doug Mulford, not to be confused with Beaker. All right, let's take a look at the ice cream.